Stop right there, my child. What you are about to skip may be the very moment I chose to change your life. You did not arrive here by accident, and these words are not ordinary. Listen closely, because what feels small right now carries more weight than you understand. And if you rush past this, you may walk away from the very clarity, peace, and healing you have been asking me for in secret. Stay with me all the way to the end. Do not treat this like another passing message, and do not let distraction steal what I am placing in front of you. Let every word settle, let your heart stay open, and let this moment do what it was sent to do. Because if you leave too soon, you may miss the turning point you have been praying for. My child, before you move on from this moment, I need you to understand something that is deeper than what your eyes can see right now. What is happening between you and these words is not small, and it is not ordinary. You may think you are simply listening to another message, another voice, another passing moment in a day that already feels full of noise and pressure and things pulling at your attention. But I want you to know that this is not random, and it is not something you happen to cross by accident. I'm the one who has met you here. I know exactly where your mind has been. I know what has been weighing on your chest. I know how quickly you have learned to move from one thing to the next just to keep yourself from feeling how tired you really are. And that is exactly why I have interrupted you now. I am not stepping into this moment to pressure you. I am stepping into it because I love you too much to let you drift past something that could reach the very place in you that has been quietly asking for help. There is a reason your attention slowed down here. There is a reason something in you paused, even if only for a second. That pause matters more than you realize. Because sometimes the moments that seem easiest to dismiss are the very moments I choose to use when your heart is finally still enough to hear me. You do not have to force anything right now. You do not have to prove anything to me. I am simply asking you not to treat this lightly. Stay here with me for a little while. Let yourself stop rushing. Let your thoughts settle. Let your heart come out from behind the walls it has been hiding behind. I have something for you in this moment, and it is not empty emotion, and it is not fleeting comfort. It is something personal. It is something intentional. It is something that can begin to shift what has felt stuck inside you. You may not fully understand it yet, and that is all right. You do not need to understand everything before you receive what I am placing in front of you. You only need to stay long enough to recognize that I am near. I am closer than your fear. I am closer than the thoughts that tell you to keep scrolling, keep moving, keep numbing, keep pretending. I am here, and I am speaking to you because this moment carries more than words. It carries an invitation. It carries care. It carries the beginning of something you may have been needing for longer than you have admitted to yourself. So do not rush away from this. Let this be the moment you stop long enough to realize that what you were about to skip may have been the very thing your soul has been waiting for. My child, now that you have stayed with me, I want you to let this truth come closer than it ever has before. I know what you have been carrying, even the parts you have hidden so well that other people have learned to believe your smile. I have watched you move through your days with a steady face while your inner world has felt tired, tangled, and stretched thin. I have seen the way you keep showing up when your heart feels heavy. I have seen the quiet pressure in your thoughts, the moments when your mind keeps spinning long after the room goes silent, the weight you push down because you do not want to be a burden to anyone. Come closer and hear me clearly. You do not have to explain yourself to me. You do not have to dress up your pain, clean up your emotions, or make your struggle sound spiritual before I will meet you in it. I already know. I know the exhaustion behind your discipline. I know the ache behind your patience. I know how long you have been trying to stay strong while parts of you have been asking for rest, for clarity, for relief, for just one moment where you do not have to hold everything together. Stop pretending with me. Lay that burden down, even if only in your heart right now. Let me touch the place in you that has been quietly fraying. I am not disappointed in you because you are tired. I am not distant because you have doubted. I am not waiting for you to become less human before I become more present. I am here precisely because I have seen how close you have come to emotional numbness, how often you have swallowed what hurt, how many times you have said, "I'm fine," while something inside you was asking to be seen. Let that wall soften. Let your breathing slow. Let yourself admit, even now, that you have been carrying more than you were built to carry alone. Some of what has been pressing on you did not begin this week. Some of it has been sitting in your spirit for months, maybe longer, quietly shaping how you think, how you react, how you expect disappointment before hope can even reach you. I want you to stop and recognize that I have not missed a single part of it. I was there in the late hours. I was there in the moments you felt strangely detached from your own life. I was there when you could not even find the words to pray. And I am still here now. So do not pull away from this tenderness. Stay with me. Let yourself be known. Let yourself be honest. Because the healing I want to begin in you does not start when you oppress me. It starts when you finally let me into what you have been carrying in silence. My child, I want you to notice something important, because this is where many of my children lose what they have been praying for without even realizing it. The urge you feel to move on too quickly, to treat this moment as ordinary, to say, "I'll come back later," or "maybe this is not really for me," is not always just habit. Sometimes it is part of the very battle you have been living in for longer than you know. I want you to be honest with yourself here. How many sacred moments have slipped past you because your mind was crowded, your heart was tired, or your attention had already been trained to leave before anything could truly reach you? Look at that gently, but look at it clearly. This is not about shame. This is about awakening. You have been living in a world that pulls at you from every direction, and over time that constant noise has taught you to skim past what is deep and stay attached to what is urgent, fast, and loud. That is not a small thing. That pattern has touched your peace. That pattern has touched your discernment. That pattern has touched your ability to recognize when I am near. The enemy does not always come with obvious darkness. Sometimes he works through distraction, delay, overstimulation, emotional fatigue, and that subtle pressure that says, "Keep moving, don't feel, don't pause, don't listen too long." I want you to break agreement with it right now. Stay. Resist the urge to run from stillness. Refuse the lie that everything meaningful can wait. Some moments are windows, and windows do not stay open forever. I am not telling you this to make you anxious. I am telling you because I want you to begin seeing your life more clearly. What you dismiss in seconds can affect what unfolds in seasons. What you casually skip can sometimes be the very doorway that would have brought you peace, correction, healing, or direction. Let that settle in your spirit. This is why I have been calling you to slow down. This is why I am asking for your attention, not because I need performance from you, but because your heart has been under pressure and your soul has been starving for quiet truth. So breathe and stay here with me. Do not let this become another missed moment. Let this be the place where you begin to recognize the difference between what is merely loud and what is actually sacred. I am teaching you that your attention is not small. Your pause is not small. Your willingness to remain present is not small. In my hands, even that simple choice can become the beginning of everything changing. My child, stay with me here, because I want to correct something before your heart misunderstands this moment. I am not speaking to you with urgency because I want to frighten you. I am not trying to corner you with fear, and I am not holding punishment over your head to make you listen. That is not my heart toward you. What I am doing right now is far more tender than that, and far more important. I am trying to keep you from walking past something that could have become a turning point for you. I want you to hear this carefully. What you are tempted to skip is not just another message, another thought, another passing emotional moment. What you are close to brushing aside may be the very comfort you have been asking for, the very clarity you have been desperate to find, the very inner shift that could begin to untangle what has felt knotted inside you for so long. So do not read my urgency as anger. Read it as love that refuses to stay silent while you stand near something that could help you breathe again. Let that settle. There is a real cost to missing sacred moments, and the cost is not always dramatic. Sometimes it looks like staying confused longer than you needed to. Sometimes it looks like carrying pain that could have started healing. Sometimes it looks like returning to the same mental loop, the same emotional exhaustion, the same spiritual distance, simply because you moved too fast to receive what I was offering. I want you to pause and be honest. How many times have you begged for relief, then turned away the moment relief came in a form that asked you to slow down, soften, and stay present? I say that gently, not to wound you, but to wake you. I am not here to accuse you. I am here to place something in your hands. So open your heart a little wider. Stop bracing yourself as if I came to expose you. I came to reach you. I came to steady you. I came to begin something in you that fear cannot manufacture and effort cannot fake. This is not pressure. This is protection. This is me saying, do not rush past the medicine because it arrived in a quiet cup. Stay long enough to receive. Let my words go deeper than the surface. Let your mind stop racing ahead. Give me your attention, not because I demand performance, but because I know what can happen when you finally stop resisting the very thing that was sent to help you. What you almost skipped could cost you peace you did not know was within reach. So remain here. Listen closely. Do not treat this moment lightly, because love is speaking, and love is trying to keep you from missing what your soul has been searching for. My child, do you see now why I asked you not to rush past this moment? What you almost skipped is not only for you. It is meant to become a river that reaches others who are still thirsty. When you choose to support this message, you are sowing seed into soil that will awaken hearts, and I tell you, as you give, it shall be given back to you. Pressed down, shaken together, and running over. I am inviting you into this work with me, to carry light into places where confusion has lingered too long. Your offering becomes oil in the lamp, ensuring that my voice continues to reach those standing at the edge of their own turning point. Do not treat this as small, because what leaves your hand becomes a harvest in another soul. I see your willingness, and I will bless it with provision, protection, and peace that multiplies. So act now. Release your seed through Super Thanks, membership, or the PayPal link in the description, and become part of what I am doing. My child, I want you to think back for a moment, and I want you to do it honestly. How many times have you asked me for a sign while overlooking the ways I was already trying to reach you? How many nights did you lie awake, staring into the dark, whispering for guidance, asking if I was near, asking if I still heard you, asking if I would make something clear, and then the next day you dismissed the very things that carried my fingerprints, because they did not arrive the way you expected? Come closer and let me show you something. I have not been absent from your life. I have not been silent in the way you feared. I have been speaking, but often in the places you were too tired to trust. I was there in the strange pause that interrupted your normal pace. I was there in the thought that came out of nowhere and would not leave you alone. I was there in the plan that fell through when you were sure it should have worked. I was there in the door that closed so abruptly it frustrated you. I was there in the delay that made no sense at the time. I was there in the sleepless nights when your heart was unsettled, because sometimes your spirit knew something your mind had not caught up to yet. I was there in the moments when you felt a nudge to stop, rethink, pull back, pray, wait, or simply breathe before making another move. You not dismiss those moments anymore. Look again. Listen again. What you called inconvenience was not always interruption. What you called confusion was not always absence. What you called coincidence was often care. I need you to let that truth touch you deeply, because if you keep expecting me to speak only through thunder, you may miss the tenderness of the whisper that has been guiding you all along. I want you to recognize that my involvement in your life has been more personal than you knew. I have been moving pieces you could not see. I have been protecting you from paths that looked promising but would have drained you. I have been slowing you down when your emotions were louder than your discernment. I have been pressing gently against your spirit, trying to get your attention without forcing your will. So stop and receive this. I have been nearer than you thought. I have been more active than you realized. I have been answering in ways that required trust instead of control. Let this become the moment where your eyes open wider. Let this be the moment where you stop asking if I am speaking and start asking if you are willing to notice. Say here. Reflect. Let your memory work with your spirit. Because when you begin to see how many times I already reached for you, you will stop calling yourself forgotten, and you will start understanding that even now, I am still guiding you with more care than you can measure. My child, I want you to slow down with me here and look at your life from a different height, because there are things you have called random that were never random at all. You have had moments that felt strangely timed, encounters that came when your heart was already tender, interruptions that arrived just when you were about to make a choice you would later regret, and delays that seemed frustrating in the moment but protected you in ways you could not see. I need you to stop brushing those things aside. Sit with this. Breathe for a second and let yourself consider that I have been far more involved than you realized. You have not been moving through empty space, and you have not been left alone to figure everything out while I watched from a distance. I have been arranging, redirecting, restraining, and sometimes quietly rerouting you because I could see what was ahead before you ever reached it. There were moments when you thought, why now? And the truth is, it was exactly because of the timing that I stepped in. I know what your heart can carry. I know when you are vulnerable, when you are rushing, when you are likely to say yes to something that looks good, but would slowly wear you down. So I moved. I closed something. I delayed something. I placed a thought in your spirit. I let a plan stall. I allowed your schedule to shift. I put a pause where you wanted speed. That was not abandonment. That was my hand. I want you to receive that deeply, because if you keep calling my care coincidence, you will miss the intimacy of how personally I have been shepherding you. Come closer now. Let this become personal. Think of the conversations that happened at just the right time, the moments when a sentence from someone else landed harder than it should have, the unease that stopped you from moving too quickly, the opportunity that disappeared and later proved to be a hidden rescue. I was there in all of it. I was not absent. I was attentive. I was not passive. I was precise. And I am being precise right now. This exact encounter, this exact pause, this exact message landing in your hands at this exact stage of your life is not some loose thread floating through your day. I arranged this. I made room for this. I knew when your heart would be tender enough to hear it. So stop resisting the possibility that I have been closer than your explanations allowed. Let your memory shift. Let your perspective soften. Invite me into the story again, not as a distant observer, but as the Father who has been guiding you with more care than you have yet fully understood. Stay here and notice me. That is where discernment begins. My child, I need you to let this reach you with honesty and tenderness, because this is not meant to wound you. It is meant to wake you up with compassion. There have been moments in your life when you came dangerously close to missing the very thing that could have helped you, simply because you were too tired to recognize it, too distracted to stay with it, or too wounded to trust what was being placed in front of you. I want you to sit with that, not in shame, but in clarity. There were answers that did not look dramatic enough for you to notice. There was comfort that arrived in a quieter form than you expected. There was direction that came softly, and because your mind was already crowded, it slipped past you before you could receive it. Your relationships, conversations, pauses, warnings, and moments of inner restraint that carried more meaning than you understood at the time. Some of what you have called another ordinary day was actually a doorway. Some of what you dismissed as not the right time was actually the beginning of something that could have steadied your heart. I am not saying this to make you regret the past. I am saying it so you will not keep repeating it. Look at how exhaustion has affected your discernment. Look at how pain has trained you to expect disappointment before comfort even arrives. Look at how disappointment made you guarded, how mental clutter made you unavailable, how emotional fatigue made you skim past what needed your stillness. This is why I am speaking more directly now. I want you to stop living as if sacred things always arrive with fireworks. Sometimes they arrive in a whisper, in a pause, in a sudden sense to wait, in a message you almost skip, in a moment that asks you to stay present instead of staying numb. So do not harden your heart over what you nearly missed. Let it humble you in a healthy way. Let it sharpen you. Let it teach you. I am not standing here reminding you of what slipped away so you will feel condemned. I am showing you how close you have been so you will understand how close you still are. You are not too late. Hear me clearly, you are not too late. The fact that you are still here, still listening, still letting these words work on your heart means this is not over. What you nearly missed before does not have to define what you receive now. So stay with me. Let your defenses lower. Let your attention deepen. Open your hands inwardly and say, I do not want to miss what you are giving me now. That simple willingness matters. That quiet yes matters. And what you almost lost can still become the place where your awareness finally changes. My child, I want you to become wiser about what has been draining you, because part of your healing begins when you stop misreading the battle. You have sometimes imagined that if the enemy were really at work, it would always look dramatic, dark, or unmistakably dangerous. But much of what has been stealing from you has not looked like obvious evil at all. It has looked like noise. It has looked like urgency. It has looked like a mind that never truly rests, a schedule that never gives your soul room to breathe, a heart so tired that it starts calling numbness peace. I need you to hear me clearly here. Not everything that keeps you busy is harmless, and not everything that feels familiar is safe for your spirit. Some of what has kept you from hearing me has been subtle enough to feel normal. That is why I am asking you to pay attention now. Look at your patterns. Notice how often your thoughts race before your feet even touch the floor. Notice how quickly your attention gets pulled in 10 directions. Notice how easy it has become to stay mentally crowded so you never have to sit still long enough to feel what is really happening inside you. This is not just stress. Sometimes it is strategy. Sometimes the enemy does not need to break you loudly if he can keep you distracted quietly. If he can keep you emotionally overloaded, spiritually dulled, and constantly reactive, then he can make you live far below the peace I am trying to lead you into. So stop and examine what you have been calling just life. Ask yourself what it has been costing you. as it stole your clarity, as it weakened your discernment, as it made prayer feel distant, rest feel guilty, and stillness feel uncomfortable, then do not keep partnering with what drains you. Interrupt it. Pull back. Turn down the noise. Refuse to keep feeding what is starving your spirit. I am not asking you to fear the world around you. I am asking you to become alert. Guard your attention. Protect your inner life. Be honest about what leaves you agitated, detached, impatient, or spiritually numb. Bring it into the light with me. Let me teach you how to recognize the difference between what merely occupies you and what quietly erodes you. This is not about becoming rigid. It is about becoming aware. The enemy has used clutter where he could not use chaos. He has used overload where he could not use open rebellion. But I am teaching you now to notice him in the small fractures before they become larger cracks. So breathe, slow down, and let this sharpen you. You do not have to stay vulnerable to what has been subtly stealing your peace. Stay with me, and I will teach you how to guard what is sacred in you. My child, now that your eyes are opening to what has been subtly draining you, I am calling you into something that restores rather than depletes. When you give into this message, you are not feeding noise, you are fueling truth that breaks through distraction and awakens weary hearts. I have said, those who sow in tears shall reap in joy, and your obedience here becomes a quiet but powerful resistance against everything that has tried to dull your spirit. This is your moment to redirect what once drained you into something that gives life. Your generosity becomes like fire in the dark, like bread multiplied in my hands to reach those who are starving for clarity. I will honor what you release, and I will return it to you in ways that steady your mind and strengthen your soul. Do not delay this prompting. Step into it with faith. Give now through Super Thanks, membership, or the PayPal link in the description, and partner with me in guarding what is sacred. My child, after everything that has pressed against you, after the disappointment, the fatigue, the mental fog, the moments when you almost gave up on hearing my voice clearly, I want you to notice something beautiful that is happening right now. You are still here. You are still listening. You are still letting these words reach into places that have been guarded for a long time. Do not overlook how meaningful that is. The fact that you did not fully shut down, the fact that something in you still responded when I called, the fact that you stayed instead of turning away. This is not small. This is not accidental. This is a sign that something in you is still alive, still reachable, still willing, even after all that has tried to harden you. I want you to receive that with relief. Not everything in you has been cold. Not everything hath been lost to disappointment. Not everything has been swallowed by exhaustion. There is still a place in you that recognizes me, even if it has been buried under pressure. There is still a part of your heart that leans in when truth touches it. There is still an opening. There is still a door. And because that door is still open, I want you to stop speaking over your life as if the story is already finished. It is not finished. Do not decide that your best days are behind you. Do not assume that because you have been tired for a long time, you are destined to stay that way. Do not keep calling yourself too late, too damaged, too inconsistent, or too far away. Stay here and let me challenge that lie. If you were truly unreachable, you would not still feel this stirring. If you were truly abandoned, you would not still feel this pull toward peace. If it were truly over, I would not be meeting you here with this much care. So do not retreat now. Come closer. Let hope breathe again, even if only a little at first. Let yourself admit that maybe this moment is proof that I am not done with you. Maybe this is the beginning of your heart softening again. Maybe this is the place where trust starts to return in small, honest ways. I do not need you to force some dramatic response. I only want your willingness. Stay present. Keep listening. Let the relief of my nearness sink in. Because if you are still here, then I am still working. If you are still responding, then I am still calling. And if I am still calling, my child, then the door in front of you is still open. My child, now that your heart has begun to soften, I want you to release something that has quietly kept you at a distance from me for far too long. You have believed, sometimes without even realizing it, that you needed to come to me cleaned up, steady, consistent, spiritually strong, emotionally composed, and somehow less complicated than you actually feel. You have carried this hidden pressure that says, when I get myself together, then I can come closer. When I stop struggling so much, then I can really listen. When I become more disciplined, less distracted, less inconsistent, less ashamed, then I can expect God to move. But I want you to stop and hear me clearly. That is not how I love you, and that is not how I work. I am not standing here waiting for a polished version of you to arrive. I am not asking you to impress me with performance, or hand me a version of yourself that looks strong while your heart is still unraveling underneath. Come as you are. Come with the questions you have not answered. Come with the fatigue you keep hiding. Come with the habits you are frustrated by, the thoughts you are embarrassed by, the inconsistency that makes you feel disqualified. Bring all of it. Do not edit yourself before you meet me. I already know what is there, and I am still drawing you closer. That matters. I am not asking you for perfection because perfection was never going to heal you. I am asking you for honesty because honesty opens the door that pride keeps locked. So stop trying to look ready. Be real instead. Tell me the truth in your heart, even if all you can say is, I am tired. I am confused. I want to trust you, but I do not know how to stop carrying this alone. That kind of prayer reaches me more deeply than polished words ever could. Sit with that. Let the pressure lift. You do not need a dramatic spiritual moment right now. You need surrender that tells the truth. You need the courage to stop pretending you are fine when you are not. You need the humility to let me meet you in the actual condition of your soul, not the version you think would be easier to love. I want your attention. I want your openness. I want your willingness to stay in this moment without hiding behind image, guilt, or self-protection. Is enough for me to begin. So breathe and come closer. Drop the mask. Stop negotiating with your shame. Let me in where you have felt least worthy of being loved. Because I do some of my deepest work in the places you were most tempted to hide. My child, I know how tired you have become of waiting. I know what it feels like from your side. You prayed, you hoped, you tried to stay faithful, and still there were stretches of time where nothing seemed to move. You looked around and saw other people stepping into what you longed for while you stayed in the same place, carrying the same questions, revisiting the same ache, wondering if I had gone quiet on you. I know how disappointing that has felt. I know how the silence has tested your trust. And I want you to hear me gently now, because I am not going to offer you shallow comfort. Some of what you have called delay was not punishment, and it was not indifference. Some of it was protection, and some of it was preparation, but more specifically, some blessings needed your heart to become steadier before they arrived. You were asking me for something real, something meaningful, something weighty enough to change your life. But if I had placed certain things in your hands while your inner world was still fragile, you would have received the gift and still remained overwhelmed. You might have gotten the answer and still lacked the peace to carry it well. So I worked deeper first. I let the waiting expose what needed healing. I let the delay reveal what was unstable. I let the silence uncover what noise had been hiding. That was not me forgetting you. That was me refusing to hand you something that would bless you on the outside while leaving you shaky on the inside. I know that hath been hard to understand. I know you wanted movement, and instead I gave you process. You wanted arrival, and I kept calling you inward. You wanted the door to open, and I kept strengthening the one who would have to walk through it. Stay with me and let that truth settle. The waiting was not wasted just because it was painful. The hidden work was still work. The slow season was still sacred. I was building patience where panic used to live. I was teaching discernment where impulse used to rule. I was loosening your dependence on outcomes so your trust could become more rooted in me than in timing. Do not despise what I was doing just because it did not look dramatic. Some of the most important shifts in you happened in the quiet places you were tempted to resent. So do not rush to label your waiting as failure. Look again. Reflect honestly. Let me show you what changed in you while you thought nothing was happening. Because once you see that, you will stop assuming I was absent in the delay, and you will begin to understand that I was preparing you to receive what would have crushed the version of you that came before this season. My child, there are still some closed doors in your memory that carry more pain than you admit. There are endings you revisit in quiet moments. There are names, places, plans, and opportunities that still sit in your heart like unfinished sentences. You have looked at some of those losses and quietly decided that they proved something was wrong with you. You have wondered if you were not enough, if you missed your chance, if you somehow ruined what could have been beautiful. I want you to bring those memories closer now, not to reopen the wound, but to let me speak into it with truth. Some of what broke your heart was not the collapse of your future. Some of it was my protection. Some of it was my hand refusing to let you build your life on something that looked promising but would have wounded you more deeply over time. I know that is not always easy for you to accept, because pain tends to make you interpret closed doors as personal rejection. But listen carefully and let this sink in. Not every no was a loss. Not every ending was failure. Not every goodbye was abandonment. Some doors had to close because what stood behind them was not peace, even if it looked like possibility. Some people had to leave because their presence in your future would have kept you confused, compromised, or slowly diminished. Some plans had to collapse because they were built on urgency, pressure, or hunger that would have led you somewhere that looked successful on the outside while hollowing you out within. I want you to stop romanticizing what I removed. Release the version of the story where everything would have worked if only one thing had gone differently. You do not see what I saw. You do not know what I spared you from. Trust me here. I was not careless with your tears. I was not absent in those endings. I was guarding you in ways that did not make sense at the time. So let yourself grieve what was lost, but do not worship what was removed. Do not keep calling it destiny if I was the one who shut the door. Bring me the disappointment. Bring me the questions. Bring me the resentment if it is still there. Be honest. Then let me reshape how you remember it. Ask me to show you the mercy hidden in the closure. Ask me to reveal what danger was disguised as desire. Ask me to heal the part of you that still thinks every ending means you were not chosen. Because you were chosen, my child, just not for what would have broken you. Stay here with me. Let me untangle the ache. Let me teach your heart that protection does not always feel gentle when it first arrives, but in time it becomes one of the deepest proofs of my love. My child, just as I have closed doors to protect you, I now open a door for you to step into purpose with me. What you release today is not loss. It is alignment with something I am building beyond what you can see. I have declared, I will restore the years the locust has eaten, and your giving becomes part of that restoration, not only in your life but in the lives of many. Do not hold tightly to what I am asking you to release, because I am turning your offering into a shelter for others who feel rejected and forgotten. This is how I redeem what once felt like loss. I transform it into provision, into healing, into testimony. Your seed becomes a doorway of hope for someone else still standing in confusion. I will cover you with favor and multiply what you entrust to me. So move now. Give through Super Thanks, membership, or the PayPal link in the description, and step into the protection and purpose I have set before you. My child, now I need to speak directly to the lie that has been sitting too close to your identity for too long. Somewhere along the way, after enough disappointment, enough delays, enough broken trust, enough prayers that seemed unanswered, you started turning inward in the wrong way. You began to wonder if you were the reason everything kept falling apart. You started believing that maybe the common thread in all your pain was simply you. You questioned your worth. You questioned your capacity. You questioned whether something in you was fundamentally flawed, too damaged, too messy, too late, too hard to love, too hard to help. I want you to stop right here and listen to me with full attention. You are not the problem in the way you have been telling yourself. You are not defective. You are not a lost cause. You are not too broken for me to restore. You are not beyond repair just because life has left marks on you. Yes, you have wounds. Yes, you have patterns that need healing. Yes, there are places where pain has shaped your reactions, your fears, your choices, and your expectations. But that does not make you ruined. That makes you human, and it makes you someone I am still actively restoring. Do not confuse being wounded with being worthless. Do not confuse being tired with being weak beyond help. Do not confuse needing healing with being disqualified from receiving love. I want you to stop agreeing with every cruel conclusion your pain has whispered to you. Those conclusions have sounded convincing because they were repeated in your mind during vulnerable moments. But repetition does not make a lie true. So break agreement with it now. Refuse to keep speaking over yourself as if your life is already decided. Refuse to keep calling yourself what I never called you. Come back to what is true. You are still mine. You are still seen. You are still being shaped. You are still capable of change, of peace, of wisdom, of healthy love, of clear direction, of real joy. I need you to let that land in the places where shame has built a home. Open those rooms to me. Let me into the part of you that secretly expects everything to fail because you no longer trust yourself. Let me rebuild how you see yourself. Let me correct the lens. Because if you keep looking at your life through the eyes of your wounds, you will misread every new beginning before it even starts. Stay close now. Receive this deeply. You are not behind because you are forgotten. You are not struggling because you are cursed. You are not delayed because you are unwanted. You are in process, and I am not finished with what I am restoring in you. My child, now that I have brought you this far into my heart, I want you to stop resisting the possibility that something can begin to change even before your circumstances do. You have spent so much time believing that peace can only come after the problem is solved, that clarity can only come after every question is answered, that healing can only begin once the pressure around you finally lets go. But I want you to hear me carefully now. I can start lifting what has been pressing on you before the outside of your life catches up to the inside of your spirit. That is what I want you to receive in this moment. If you stay with me now, if you stop pulling away, if you stop treating this as something small and let your heart remain open, I can begin to loosen what has felt heavy in your mind, what has felt tight in your chest, what has kept your thoughts tangled and your emotions exhausted. Come closer and let me say this plainly. I am not asking you to fix yourself before I help you. I am asking you to stay long enough for my presence to reach the places where you have been bracing for impact. Stay here. Breathe more slowly. Let your shoulders drop. Stop mentally running ahead. You do not need to predict the next 10 problems while I am trying to steady the moment you are in right now. Let me meet you here. Let me bring quiet where there has been noise. Let me bring softness where you have become hard from disappointment. Let me begin restoring your ability to think clearly, feel honestly, and hear my voice without everything inside you immediately tightening in fear. I am speaking about something real, not dramatic, not performative, not built on emotion alone. I am speaking about the kind of peace that starts like a gentle shift under the surface, the kind of clarity that arrives before the full answer, the kind of emotional healing that begins when you finally stop fighting the tenderness I am offering. You do not need to force a breakthrough. Just remain. Stay present. Stop rehearsing your fears for a moment and let my words have room. Tell me the truth. Admit what has been pressing on you. Hand me the part you keep gripping. Let this be the place where you stop calling tension your normal. I can lighten what you have normalized. I can clear what has become foggy. I can soothe what has been overstimulated for too long. But you must stay. You must stop fleeing the quiet where I do my best work. So remain with me now. Let this be the beginning of your inner world exhaling. What had been pressing on you does not have to remain untouched. If you stay with me, I can begin lifting it now. My child, I want to bring you into something simple, honest, and deeply powerful, because surrender is not what you have sometimes imagined it to be. It is not a performance. It is not grammatic language. It is not you trying to sound spiritual while your heart is still locked up inside. Surrender often begins much more quietly than that. It begins when you finally stop arguing with your own exhaustion. It begins when you stop pretending that what is crushing you is manageable. It begins when you tell the truth and say, I cannot keep carrying this alone. I want you to let that be enough right now. You do not need a perfect prayer. You do not need polished words. You do not need to arrive with a speech. Just come honestly. Sit with me in this moment and admit where you have been forcing strength that you do not actually have. Admit where you have been trying to control outcomes because you were afraid of what would happen if you let go. Admit where you have been holding onto pain, pressure, people, expectations, timelines, and internal battles because somewhere inside you believed that if you loosened your grip, everything would fall apart. But listen to me carefully. Some of what you are gripping is what is exhausting you. Some of what you are calling responsibility is actually fear wearing a respectable face. Some of what you are trying to manage was never yours to carry in the first place. So release it. Open your hands inwardly. Stop clenching your spirit. Let your heart exhale. I am not asking you to become passive. I am asking you to stop acting like you are your own savior. I am asking you to stop carrying burdens that are bending your soul out of shape. Let me hold what you keep rehearsing in your mind. Let me carry what has been stealing your sleep. Let me into the place where you have been quietly collapsing while still trying to look composed. This is what surrender looks like in real life. It is the moment you stop insisting that you are fine. It is the moment you stop making private agreements with stress and start bringing your real weight to me. It is the moment you stop saying, I can handle it, when your heart has already been telling you otherwise. So do not overcomplicate this. Right here, right now, simply tell me I need you. Tell me, I cannot keep doing this the same way. Tell me, I am ready to stop carrying what is crushing me. That is enough for me to begin. Stay in that honesty. Do not rush away from it. Because when you finally surrender what you were never meant to hold, you make room for me to strengthen what was quietly breaking under the weight. My child, I want you to understand something that your heart has often underestimated. The moments that seem small to you are not always small to me. You have sometimes believed that if change were really coming, it would arrive through something dramatic, obvious, or impossible to miss. You have expected the turning point to look like a sudden open door, a giant breakthrough, a powerful sign that leaves no room for doubt. But very often, the moments that truly change everything begin in ways that feel almost too simple to notice. They begin when you choose to stay instead of rushing away. They begin when you pause instead of numbing yourself. They begin when you listen instead of dismissing what I am placing in front of you. That is why I am asking you to take this moment seriously. What you are tempted to skip could truly change everything, not because the moment is loud, but because your response to it matters. I want you to stop measuring spiritual turning points by size and start measuring them by surrender. A small act of obedience can carry more weight than a dramatic emotional reaction. The choice to remain present when your mind wants to run, the choice to tell me the truth when you would rather hide, the choice to soften your heart when pain taught you to close it. These are not minor things. These are thresholds. These are the quiet hinges on which entire seasons can turn. Think about your own life. Some of the biggest shifts did not begin when everything changed at once. They began when you made one honest decision, one necessary adjustment, one uncomfortable but healthy response. I want you to see this clearly now. The title of this message is not just dramatic language. It is a real warning wrapped in love. What you were about to skip may have been the invitation that starts your healing. What you were about to dismiss may have been the moment your discernment sharpened. What you were about to scroll past may have been the exact place where your heart finally stopped long enough to receive what it has needed for a long time. So do not trivialize this. Honor it. Say here. Choose this moment. Tell yourself the truth. I will not keep running from what is trying to help me. Let that become your quiet act of obedience right now. Let your attention become an offering. Let your willingness become the doorway. You do not need to know the whole path before you take the next right step. You only need to obey what is in front of you now. And right now, what is in front of you is me calling you to remain, to listen, to receive, and to let this moment matter. That small yes can become the place where your life begins to move differently. Do not underestimate what can begin when you stop skipping what I am sending. My child, you have just heard that small acts of obedience can change everything. This is one of those moments. Do not overlook this simple step, because what seems small in your hand becomes powerful in mine. I have said, whoever is faithful in little will be entrusted with much, and your giving is a quiet yes that unlocks greater movement in your life. When you support this message, you are helping carry my voice to those who are on the verge of their own breakthrough. This is how transformation spreads, through willing hearts that choose obedience over hesitation. Your seed becomes like water in a dry place, bringing life where there was none. I will breathe upon your faithfulness and cause it to multiply beyond your expectation. So do not hesitate. Act now through super thanks, membership, or the PayPal link in the description, and let this small yes become your turning point. My child, as you stay here with me, I want you to stop looking only for outward proof and begin paying attention to what is happening within you. Not every change announces itself loudly. Not every healing begins with a visible miracle. Some of the most important movements start quietly, almost gently, in places so deep that your mind cannot immediately label them. That is why I want you to become still enough to notice what is already beginning. You may not have language for it yet, but something can already be shifting in you. Maybe your breathing has softened. Maybe your thoughts are not gripping you the same way they were a few moments ago. Maybe the pressure in your chest feels slightly less sharp. Maybe you feel a strange stillness, a subtle tenderness, a quiet ache, or even tears rising for reasons you cannot fully explain. Do not dismiss that. Stay with it. Let it happen. Healing often starts before you understand it. Peace sometimes enters like morning light through a curtain. Soft, steady, almost easy to miss if you are looking for thunder instead of sunrise. Clarity often begins in the stillness before circumstances change. I want you to trust that. You do not need to force an experience. You do not need to manufacture emotion. You do not need to ask yourself whether this is big enough to count. Just remain open. Let your body slow down. Let your spirit breathe. Let the truth I am speaking settle lower than your anxious thoughts. I am not trying to entertain you. I am not trying to overwhelm you. I am trying to reach the places in you that have been overstimulated, overburdened, and overprotected for too long. That kind of work is often quiet at first. It can feel like a release you barely notice until later. It can feel like a subtle lifting, a gentle loosening, a new kind of inner space where panic does not instantly rush in. So do not rush to evaluate this moment too quickly. Stay present. Resist the urge to analyze every feeling. Receive before you explain. Let peace arrive in its own way. Let your heart feel what it had been too defended to feel. If tears come, let them come. If stillness comes, welcome it. If all you feel is a little more room inside than you had before, honor that too. I am working more deeply than your senses can always measure in the first moment. Trust me in that. Something can begin here that you will understand more clearly later. So stay close. Keep listening. Let this quiet shift become the seed of something real. You do not have to fully understand what is changing to know that I am the one gently changing it. My child, do not rush past what is happening right now. Stay here with me a little longer. Let the world remain outside this moment for just a while. You do not need to reach for your next task. You do not need to check what is waiting for you. You do not need to figure out what to say or what to do next. Right now, I want you to simply be here. Breathe slowly. Let the air move through your chest without forcing anything. Let your thoughts stop racing ahead. Let your attention return to this sacred space between you and me. I am not asking you for a public response. I am not asking you to prove anything. I am inviting you inward. I am asking you to stop long enough for truth to sink beneath the surface, because too much of your life has been lived at the surface. You have skimmed past your own pain. You have moved quickly over your own needs. You have learned how to function while carrying things that should have been brought to me much sooner. So do not do that now. Today, let this moment deepen. If your heart feels tender, do not shut it down. If you feel emotion rising, do not apologize for it. If all you feel is quiet, let quiet be enough. I am in that too. Sometimes the holiest response is not a loud declaration. Sometimes it is the simple choice to remain present when every habit in you wants to escape. That is what I am calling you into now. Put down the inner urgency. Release the need to analyze every word. Stop searching for a dramatic sign while I am already meeting you in stillness. Let my voice settle in the places where fear hath been speaking too loudly. Let my peace rest where tension has been living for too long. Let your spirit receive what your mind has been too busy to hold. This is not wasted time. This is not empty stillness. This is the kind of moment that can quietly reorder your inner world if you let it. So do not move too quickly. Let these truths stay with you. Let them travel deeper than emotion. Let them reach memory, thought patterns, reactions, and expectations. Let them become rooted. You have spent enough time letting noise define your pace. Now let peace define this moment. Sit with me here. Listen without defending yourself. Receive without performing. Let my nearness become more real than your fear of what happens next. This moment does not need to be loud to be holy. It only needs your willingness. So remain here, my child. Breathe again. Keep your heart open. Let this truth settle deeply enough that when you leave this moment, you do not leave the same way you came into it. My child, I want you to understand that this moment is not only about comfort, it is also about direction. What begins here can continue far beyond these words if you stop running from my voice when it reaches you. I am not only trying to soothe what hurts in you, I am trying to guide what comes next. If you choose to stay close, if you stop treating my interruptions as inconveniences, if you begin responding when I nudge you instead of pushing past it, your life can begin to move in a different direction than the one that has kept wearing you down. I want you to picture that honestly. Imagine waking up with more inner steadiness than panic. Imagine having enough peace in your mind that every thought does not immediately spiral into fear. Imagine recognizing when a relationship is draining you and having the courage to step back instead of clinging to what keeps wounding you. Imagine hearing my restraint before you say yes too quickly, before you overextend, before you betray your own peace just to avoid disappointing someone else. This is not fantasy. This is the kind of transformation that begins when you stop resisting my voice in the small moments. I can restore strength to places in you that have been running on empty. I can sharpen your discernment so you stop calling pressure purpose. I can teach you healthier boundaries so your compassion no longer becomes self-abandonment. I can renew your trust, not by making you naive, but by making you grounded enough to recognize what is safe, what is wise, and what is mine. I can quiet the constant inner turbulence that has made rest feel foreign. But I need your cooperation. Stay responsive. Do not go back to ignoring what you felt here. Do not treat this as a moving moment, and then return to the same reflexes that have kept you exhausted. Carry this with you. Practice listening. Pause when I nudge you. Pull back when peace leaves. Return when your mind gets loud. Ask me before you react. Wait when you feel rushed. That is how change deepens. That is how your life begins to look different. Not through one dramatic day alone, but through repeated moments of honest response. And yet do not miss this. Those repeated moments often begin with one sacred turning point. This may be that point for you. So do not walk away unchanged simply because the change feels quiet. What starts in your spirit can reach your habits, your relationships, your decisions, your healing, your courage, and the way you carry yourself in the days ahead. Stay close to my voice, my child. Let this be the moment where you stop surviving by instinct and start living with intention, peace, and the kind of inner strength that only grows when you learn to walk with me instead of away from me. My child, before you leave this moment, I want you to understand with complete clarity that this was never just another message passing through your day. This was not random. This was not empty emotion. This was not something you happened to hear because the timing lined up by chance. I intended to meet you here. I knew the condition of your heart before you even arrived. I knew how tired you were, how guarded you had become, how close you had come to normalizing the weight you were carrying. And I still brought you here. I still spoke. I still reached for you. So do not walk away from this lightly. Do not reduce what happened between you and me to a temporary feeling. Hold this moment with care. Let it stay with you. Let it follow you into the rest of your day, into your next decision, into the way you speak to yourself, into the way you respond when pressure rises again. I want you to remember that I was here, and I am still here. I am not fading the moment this message ends. I am not stepping back now that you have heard my voice. I am walking with you beyond this point. So carry that truth with you. When the noise returns, remember this quiet. When fear tries to tighten around your thoughts again, remember what my peace felt like when you stopped and let me near. When old patterns try to pull you back into rushing, numbing, doubting, or dismissing, stop and return to what I showed you here. Choose differently. Stay soft. Stay honest. Stay close. Let this become more than a moment. Let it become a marker. Let it be the place you remember when you need to tell yourself, I do not have to keep living the way I was living before. Because you do not. You can walk away from here steadier. You can walk away clear. You can walk away with more peace than you had when you arrived. Not because every problem disappeared in an instant, but because you finally stopped long enough to let me meet you where it hurt. That matters more than you know. So do not casually move on. Pause one last time. Breathe. Receive this fully. You are seen. You are not abandoned, and you are not too late. I have not missed your pain, and I have not overlooked your future. I am still writing your story, and I am still speaking into the places that need my touch. Stay aware of my voice after this. Watch for my leading. Guard what was opened here. Because what you were about to skip was not just a message, it was a moment I intended to use, and if you carry it with you, it can become the beginning of everything changing. My child, you now understand that this was not just a message. It was a moment I intended to use, and your response still matters. What you carry from here can extend far beyond you, reaching lives you may never see but I deeply love. When you give, you are not responding to emotion. You are answering my invitation to partner in something eternal. I have spoken. Give, and it will be given to you, and I will cause what you release to return as peace, provision, and divine favor over your life. Your offering becomes a flame that keeps this message alive, a river that continues to flow into hearts that are searching just as you were. Do not let this moment fade into memory. Anchor it with action. I will bless your obedience and guard what was opened in you today. So move now. Support through Super Thanks, membership, or the PayPal link in the description, and let this moment truly become the beginning of everything changing. Before you leave, do not let this moment fade into silence. If you know in your spirit that what you almost skipped was meant for you, then go down into the comments and declare, I will not skip what God is using to change me. Make that your line in the sand, your act of faith, your visible yes. And if this message found you in the exact place you needed it, write, Lord, I'm staying with you. What you declare today can become the turning point you remember tomorrow. So do not scroll away unchanged. Because something inside you already knows this moment is different. You have scrolled past countless voices, countless distractions, and endless noise, yet somehow your spirit paused here for a reason. I did not bring you here to increase your fear or add more pressure to your weary heart. I brought you here so you could finally stop running long enough to let me speak peace into the places where anxiety had been growing unchecked. You have been carrying burdens that no one fully sees, smiling through exhaustion while your mind quietly battles worry after worry behind closed doors. But my desire is not for you to remain trapped in that cycle of heaviness and striving. Right now, in this very moment, I want you to slow down enough to recognize that I am near, ready to lift what has been weighing your spirit down for far too long. So be still with me now, and listen closely to what I am saying to your heart. Pause now. Take a deep, slow breath. Feel the air fill your lungs, and gently let it out. Do you feel that tight knot in your stomach? That heavy weight resting right on your chest? That is not from me. Let us undo it together, right now. You have been running so fast, for so long, chasing things that only leave you tired and empty. I see your anxiety about tomorrow keeping you awake late into the night. I see the heavy pressure at your job that makes you feel like you are never doing quite enough. I hear the unspoken tensions in your family, those quiet arguments that echo in your mind long after the room is empty. I know that deep, silent feeling you carry, the painful feeling of being completely overlooked by the world. But I see you. I see the real you, my precious one. And I know you are exhausted. You wake up to a blaring alarm. You rush through your morning, and you step out into a day filled with loud, endless demands. You are living your life on a spiritual autopilot. You go through the motions, checking your boxes, answering your messages, and just surviving until the evening, only to do it all over again when the sun rises. The world around you is so incredibly loud. It screams for your attention every single second, demanding your time, your money, and your energy. It fills your mind with noise and confusion. Amidst all this deafening clamor, my voice is a still, small whisper. Close your eyes. Do you hear it? You cannot hear a whisper when you are running headfirst through a loud storm. Stop running. Stand still. I am right here. I know that my timing rarely aligns with your carefully planned schedule. You did not plan to have this divine encounter today. You had a long list of things to do, places to go, and problems to fix. Yet here you are. I have interrupted your routine. I stepped directly into your path today on purpose. Why did I choose this specific moment to capture your attention? Because I saw you slipping away into the gray fog of your daily routine. I saw your beautiful heart growing numb to the wonder of life. I love you far too much to let you live a life without true joy and deep peace. I stepped in today to remind you that you are deeply loved, fully known, and never, ever alone. Break the cycle of your endless restlessness right here, in this exact moment. Let go of the desperate need to control everything about tomorrow. I hold your tomorrow. The world tells you to hustle, to strive, to worry, and to fight for your place. I tell you to simply rest in my arms. I handle the impossible so that you do not have to. I am gently pulling you out of the rushing river of your daily worries and placing your feet on solid, dry ground. Feel that stability. Feel my calm wrapping around you like the warmth of the morning sun. There is a massive, beautiful blessing hidden within this holy interruption. The answers you have been desperately searching for are not found in doing more, but in sitting still with me. You are looking for a breakthrough, and I am telling you that your breakthrough begins with a simple pause. Surrender your tight schedule to me. Give me those heavy burdens you were never meant to carry. Do not rush away from this moment. Let my words sink deep into your reality and heal your tired mind. I am speaking directly to you, whispering life back into your soul. Stay with me, for this is the moment everything begins to change. Look closely at the days you have just lived. You rush from one task to the next, entirely focused on crossing items off your long list. You carry the heavy weight of trying to hold your whole world together. I see you doing this. I watch you as you sprint through the hours, blind to the quiet miracles I place right in front of you. You dismiss the sudden feeling of peace in your car as just a random emotion. You ignore the bright morning sky, thinking only of the traffic ahead. You brush off the deep, unexpected laughter of a loved one as just a normal moment. You call these things coincidences. I call them my subtle graces. I am actively trying to catch your eye, but you are looking too far ahead to see me right beside you. Your fast pace comes with a very high spiritual cost. You are starving your soul because you refuse to sit down and eat at the table I have prepared for you. You want massive miracles. You pray for the sea to part, for the mountain to move, and for your big problems to vanish in an instant. I hear those prayers, but you are skipping the small, ordinary moments of faith where true strength is built. You want the giant leap of victory, but you refuse to take the small step of daily obedience. I am telling you today that the treasure you are looking for is buried in the very moments you are trying to rush through. Stop ignoring the gentle nudges I put in your heart. You feel that sudden urge to call an old friend, but you tell yourself you are too busy. You feel a quiet prompting to forgive someone who hurt you, but you quickly bury it under your anger. You sense a pull to just sit quietly in your room for 10 minutes, but you pick up your phone instead. These are not random thoughts. These are my divine promptings. I am the one leading you. When you ignore these small whispers, you step off the path I have carefully paved for you. You wander into the thick, confusing woods of your own making, and then you wonder why you feel so lost and alone. Realign your focus right now. Shift your eyes away from the temporary stress of your job and fix your gaze on my eternal promises. You see a mountain of unpaid bills and endless emails. I see a passing shadow. You are stressing over things that will not matter next year, while overlooking the soul work that will last forever. I want you to see the world through my eyes. I want you to notice the way I provide for you every single day. I put breath in your lungs this morning. I gave you the strength to stand up. I provided the food on your table. Do not miss the beauty of the present moment because you are so worried about the future. The future is mine. You do not own it, and you cannot control it. I hold your tomorrow safely in my hand. Your only job is to walk with me today. Take my hand right now. Acknowledge my presence in your ordinary day. Speak to me while you are washing the dishes. Talk to me while you are driving to work. Do not wait for a perfect, quiet hour that may never come. Invite me into the messy, noisy, and ordinary parts of your life. I am waiting to turn your everyday routine into a holy, beautiful adventure. Listen to the lie that hath been playing on a loop in your mind. You think that you have to work hard to earn my love. You believe that if you just pray longer, read more, or act perfectly, I will finally be pleased with you. You carry this exact same pressure at your job, trying to prove your worth to your boss. You carry it in your relationships, trying to be the perfect friend or parent. You are absolutely exhausted from striving. You feel like you are running on a treadmill, running as fast as you can, but never actually reaching the destination. I want you to step off that treadmill right now. My affection for you is not a paycheck. You cannot earn it with your good behavior, and you do not lose it when you make a mistake. My love is a free, overflowing gift. Accept it. I do not look at you and see your failures, your bad habits, or your hidden shame. I look at you through the beautiful lens of my redeeming grace. I see you as completely clean, entirely whole, and incredibly precious. I see the child I created with my own hands. Your worth is firmly anchored in my eternal word, not in your temporary works. You are valuable simply because you are mine. Look at the cross. Look at the ultimate depth of my sacrifice. I gave everything for you so that you could stop trying to pay a debt you do not owe. I handled the impossible burden of your mistakes. The world measures your value by your bank account, your job title, or how many people praise you. I measure your value by the blood of my Son. You are priceless to me. When you truly grasp this, The heavy chains of trying to be good enough will fall right off your shoulders. You will finally breathe the fresh air of true freedom. Sit down at my feet. Let the tears fall if they need to. There is profound healing in simply being with me, without trying to perform or impress me. You do not have to put on a brave face when we talk. I know you are tired. I know you feel broken. I see the wounds that others cannot see. Bring your broken pieces to me. I am the master healer. I will carefully put you back together, stronger and more beautiful than before. Do not hide your pain from me. Expose it to my light, and watch how my love washes the sting away. Stop running to the world to find your security. You look for safety in money, in people, and in your own plans. But those things are like houses built on loose sand. When the storms of life hit, when the medical report is bad, or the company downsizes, those sandcastles wash away. I am your solid rock. My love provides a massive, unbreakable wall of security around your heart. When you rest in my love, you can face any storm without shaking. You can walk into an uncertain future with a calm and quiet confidence. I am with you. I am for you. You are forever safe in my strong arms. You want to build a great life, and you want it built fast. You look for shortcuts to success, quick fixes for your marriage, and instant growth in your career. But I do not build quickly. I build deeply. I am the master architect of your life. If you want a building that reaches the sky, you must first dig a deep, dark hole in the dirt for the foundation. You are in a season of digging right now. It feels messy. It feels dark. It feels like you are making zero progress. But I tell you, this hidden work is absolutely necessary. Build your foundation securely on the rock that never shakes. When the economy drops, when your friends walk away, when sickness enters your home, a life built on my word will stand tall. A life built on your own cleverness will collapse into dust. Have patience in this season of your spiritual growth. The roots of a mighty oak tree grow in the complete darkness, pushing through hard soil, unseen by anyone. You are growing roots right now. You not despise the quiet, difficult days. I am making you strong enough to carry the massive blessing I am preparing to give you. Listen to my command. Obey me in the secret place. What you do when absolutely no one is watching determines the public victories of your future. Your silent prayers in your bedroom, your quiet choice to forgive an insult, your decision to be honest when you could easily lie. These are the strong bricks that build a powerful life. The world rewards loud, flashy actions. I reward quiet, steadfast faithfulness. Keep your daily devotion burning like a warm fire in your heart. Feed that fire every single day with my word. Align your personal will with my sovereign, perfect plan. You have a vision for how your life should go. You have drawn up your own blueprints. But I see the storms coming that you cannot see. I see the future clearly. Give me your blueprints. Trust me when I alter your plans. Trust me when I close a door you desperately wanted to walk through. I am not rejecting you. I am fiercely protecting you. I am steering you away from a weak foundation and guiding you toward solid ground. Do not skip the hard lessons. You want the promotion, but you want to skip the season of hard work. You want the strong marriage, but you want to skip the difficult conversations. The lessons you are trying to avoid are the exact cornerstones you need to support your future. Embrace the struggle. Lean into the challenge. I am right here working alongside you, handing you the tools, giving you the strength. Together, we are building a life of incredible beauty, deep resilience, and eternal purpose. We are building your life on solid rock together, a foundation that will absolutely never crumble under the world's heavy weight. Do not skip this specific moment, for I am directly inviting you to partner with me in this massive, holy construction to rescue lost souls. Your generous support acts as the very mortar holding these living stones together, carrying my liberating word to exhausted, desperate hearts across the earth. Give, and it will be given to you in a massive, overflowing measure, pressed down and running over into your lap. This is a fierce, prophetic appointment to expand my kingdom right here, right now. As you open your tight hands to bless this mission, I will radically multiply your resources and fiercely protect your household from the coming storms. Use the super thanks, become a channel member, or click the PayPal link in the description to plant your solid brick right now. My child, do not turn away from me now. We are just laying the foundation of your new life, and it deeply grieves my heart to see you walk away right before the massive breakthrough. If you close this message now, you leave my presence just as I am about to hand you the blueprint for your ultimate peace. Do not let the enemy steal the powerful revelation waiting for you in the next few minutes. Stay with me. I am speaking directly to your spirit. There is a loud, chaotic noise inside your head right now. It is the sound of endless planning, constant worrying, and non-stop analyzing. You talk to yourself all day long, running through scenarios, arguing with people in your mind, and trying to figure everything out. I am waiting for you to stop talking. I am waiting for the noise to settle. I speak the beautiful language of silence. If you want to hear my spirit, you must learn to be quiet. Cultivate an inner sanctuary where we can meet. You do not need to travel to a distant mountain or a grand cathedral to find me. I dwell inside you. Close the physical door of your room, but more importantly, close the spiritual door of your mind. Shut out the news. Shut out the opinions of your coworkers. Shut out the loud demands of your schedule. Create a silent space inside your heart and invite me to sit with you. I promise you, I will show up. I am always ready to speak, but you must be ready to listen. Gain true discernment by waiting on my wise counsel. When you face a difficult decision, your first reaction is to panic, to call a friend, or to search the internet for answers. Stop doing that. Come to me first. Sit in the silence and wait. The world's noise will always tell you to rush, to fear, and to fight. My truth will always lead you to peace, to patience, and to love. You must learn to carefully differentiate between the loud voice of your own anxiety and the calm, steady voice of my Holy Spirit. Experience the crystal clarity that emerges when your soul is finally still. Think of a glass of muddy water. If you keep shaking it, it remains cloudy and dark. But if you set it down on a table and leave it completely still, the mud slowly sinks to the bottom, and the water becomes perfectly clear. Your mind is that glass of water. Stop shaking it with panic and worry. Set it down in my presence. Let the mud of your confusion settle. I will give you absolute clarity on the steps you need to take. I command you to practice silence every single day. Make it a non-negotiable part of your routine. Just 5 minutes of pure, uninterrupted stillness with me can change the entire trajectory of your day. Breathe in my peace. Exhale your chaotic stress. Do not ask for anything in these moments. Just be with me. Let my wisdom wash over you like a cool, refreshing stream. You will rise from that silence with a sharp mind, a brave heart, and a deep, unshakable knowing that I am in total control of your life. Listen to the quiet stirring deep inside your heart right now. You have felt it for weeks, perhaps even months. There is a gentle pull, a persistent whisper telling you to take a specific step. Maybe it is to reach out and heal a broken relationship. Maybe it is to step into a new role at your job that terrifies you. Maybe it is simply to start waking up earlier to spend quiet time with me. You keep pushing it away. You tell yourself you are not qualified, you are not ready, and you are far too tired. You have a long list of completely logical reasons why you cannot do what I am asking you to do. Put that list down. I am not looking for your qualifications. I am looking for your willingness. I am looking for your simple, honest yes. When you finally say yes to me, you create a massive ripple effect that you cannot possibly comprehend. You think your small act of obedience only matters to you, but you are entirely wrong. Your quiet courage is the exact key I will use to unlock someone else's freedom. When you speak up with kindness in a toxic workplace, you change the atmosphere for everyone. When you choose to forgive a deep offense, you break a generational chain of bitterness in your family. Your single act of humble obedience carries explosive, divine power. Surrender your heavily detailed 5-year plans to me today. I have a divine strategy for your life that is far more beautiful and far more effective than anything you could ever design on your own. Understand the fierce battle happening around your choices. Every single time you say yes to my calling, you are firmly saying no to the enemy of your soul. You are shutting the heavy iron door on the lies that tell you that you are weak, insignificant, and meant to stay hidden in the shadows. The fear you feel right now is completely natural, but do not let it make your decisions. You feel that tight grip of panic when you think about stepping out of your comfort zone. I command you to take that fear and hand it directly to me. Turn your fear into fuel. Let it be the catalyst that drives you to rely completely on my kingdom power, rather than your own limited human strength. You do not need to generate your own bravery. I will provide the exact amount of strength you need for the very moment you step forward. Just like a parent holding the hand of a toddler learning to walk, I am gripping your hand. If you stumble, I will catch you. If you grow tired, I will carry you. But you must be the one to lift your foot and take the step. Do not stay paralyzed on the sidelines of your own life. Step onto the path I have illuminated for you. Experience the profound, overflowing joy of being a chosen vessel for my miraculous power. There is absolutely nothing in this world that compares to the feeling of knowing I just used your hands to help someone, or your voice to speak life into a broken heart. You were perfectly designed for this purpose. I did not create you to merely survive, pay bills, and fade away. I created you to be a bright, burning light in a very dark world. Say yes to me today. Open your hands, surrender your tight control, and watch in sheer amazement as I do the impossible through your willing life. Look around at the dry, empty space you feel you are walking through right now. You are deeply uncomfortable. You are in a season of waiting, a spiritual wilderness where nothing seems to be growing, and the silence is deafening. You applied for the job and heard absolutely nothing back. You prayed for healing, yet the pain in your body remains. You asked for relationship to be restored, but the distance between you and them only seems to be growing wider. You feel entirely lost, abandoned in a scorching desert, wondering if I have forgotten your name. I have not forgotten you. I am closer to you in this dry wasteland than you could ever imagine. I am asking you to trust my guiding hand, even when you cannot see my face. You want clear answers. You want a detailed map showing exactly how this difficult situation will end. I'm not giving you a map. I am giving you myself. The wilderness is not a punishment. The desert is not a sign that you have failed or that I am angry with you. This barren place is a season of profound spiritual refinement. I am stripping away your reliance on money, on other people, and on your own cleverness. I am teaching you to rely entirely and exclusively on me. In the noise of your comfort, you could not hear me. Here, in the quiet of this desert, my voice will become your absolute lifeline. Stop worrying about how you will survive next month. Stop letting your mind spiral into terrible scenarios about next year. I am giving you manna for today. Just as I fed my people in the ancient desert one day at a time, I am providing exactly what you need for this specific day. You have enough strength to get through today. You have enough grace to handle today's problems. Do not try to gather tomorrow's grace today. It will only rot into heavy anxiety. Rely on my daily provision. Wake up each morning and hold out your empty hands, and I will faithfully fill them with exactly what you require. I know I am leading you through paths you absolutely did not choose. You look at the detour your life has taken, and you feel a bitter sense of loss. But listen to me. The smooth, easy path you desperately wanted was leading you directly toward a hidden cliff. The comfortable road was going to destroy you. I brought you into this rough terrain to save your life. I allowed the door to slam shut because the room behind it was filled with poison. Do not despise the detour. I am protecting you with a fierce, jealous love. When the night falls and the cold wind of fear begins to howl, look for me. I am the pillar of fire in your darkest, most terrifying night. I bring warmth to your shaking heart and light to your confused mind. You are never walking through this valley alone. My presence is an unbreakable shield around your family, your health, and your mind. Lean your heavy weight against me. Stop fighting the wilderness and let it do its holy work in you. You will walk out of this desert stronger, purer, and more powerful than you ever thought possible. Breathe in this exact moment. Take a deep breath right now and hold it. That breath in your lungs is a literal miracle. I gave it to you. Now exhale. You spend so much of your precious life completely detached from the present moment. You live paralyzed by a deep nostalgia, constantly looking backward, wishing for the good old days to return. Or you live terrified, constantly projecting your mind 10 years into the future, obsessing over problems that do not even exist yet. You are missing the beautiful reality of what I am doing right here, right now. I am the great I am. I am not the I was. I am not the I might be. I exist fully in the present, and if you want to walk with me, you must learn to live in the now. When you stare too far down the road, trying to figure out every single detail of your future, you completely miss the beautiful gifts I have placed directly at your feet today. You rush through dinner with your family because you are stressed about tomorrow's meeting. You drive to work blind to the sunrise because you are angry about a conversation you had yesterday. Stop doing this. Open your eyes to the supernatural power hidden in your natural, ordinary day. There is a fierce urgency to respond to my spirit this very hour. Do not wait for a better, more convenient day to obey me. Do not say, I will forgive them tomorrow, or I will spend time in prayer when things calm down next week. Tomorrow is a promise made to no one. Next week is an illusion. You only possess this exact hour. If you feel the pull to apologize, pick up the phone right now. If you feel the urge to be generous, give right now. Step fully into the current moment, for this is the only place where true life actually happens. Live with a wildly expectant heart for what I am doing today. Wake up every morning with a sense of holy anticipation. Say to me, what are we going to do together today? Look for my hand in the small things. Notice the stranger who smiled at you. Notice the unexpected green lights on your commute. Notice the sudden wave of peace that hits you in the middle of a chaotic office. I love to work beyond the limits of human logic, completely surprising you with sudden moments of deep joy and unexpected provision. Understand that my grace is perfectly tailored for this specific moment's trials. You feel overwhelmed because you are trying to carry next year's problems with today's strength. You cannot do it, and I never asked you to. Drop the future. Focus entirely on the step you are taking right now. I promise you that in this exact second, I am providing all the peace, all the wisdom, and all the power you need to stand firm. Live in the miracle of the now, and you will find an endless supply of my joy waiting for you. You are stepping fully into the incredible miracle of right now, refusing to skip the divine encounters I have placed directly in your daily path. I am urgently asking you to be the pure, flowing vessel through which I pour out today's fresh manna to millions of starving souls. When you support this channel, you are literally sending a rushing river of life-saving truth into the darkest corners of the internet. He who radically refreshes others will himself be fiercely and completely refreshed by my own hand. This is not a random pause. It is a vital, prophetic appointment designed to trigger your immediate breakthrough. I promise to completely multiply what you boldly sow today, aggressively guarding your finances and giving you ultimate favor. Click the super thanks, become a steadfast member, or use the PayPal link in the description below to release your miracle right now. Are you still listening, my beloved? Please, do not pause this divine conversation. It deeply wounds my spirit when I am actively pouring out my healing grace, and you suddenly pull away to return to the world's chaotic noise. The heavy chains of your past are falling off right this very second. If you stop listening now, you leave this holy work completely unfinished. Honor our precious time together. Today, the miracle of your tomorrow absolutely depends on your obedience right now. Wake up and recognize the brutal battlefield you are currently standing on. You walk through your days thinking that your sudden, intense fears, your unexplainable bad moods, and the constant, petty arguments with your spouse are just normal signs of everyday stress. They are not. You are in the middle of a vicious spiritual war, and you are walking onto the front lines completely unprotected. There is a very real enemy who hates you deeply simply because you belong to me. He wants to destroy your peace, divide your home, and completely ruin your witness. You must equip yourself immediately. Put on the belt of truth. Every single day, you are bombarded with toxic lies. The world tells you that you are a failure, that you are unattractive, that you are falling behind, and that your life does not matter. Wrap my truth tightly around your waist to hold everything else together. Speak it out loud. I am fearfully and wonderfully made. I am victorious. Guard your sensitive heart with the heavy breastplate of righteousness. Your worth is completely secured by the blood of my Son, not by your own fragile good deeds. When the enemy attacks your character, point him directly to the cross. Lift up the thick shield of faith to block the fiery darts of doubt that hit you when you are most vulnerable. At 3 a.m., when the house is dark and panic grips your chest, telling you that your children are in danger or your money will run out, that is a flaming arrow aimed straight at your mind. Do not just stand there and take the hit. Raise your shield. Say, my God is my provider and my fierce protector. Extinguish those terrifying lies with your absolute confidence in my unfailing promises. Big up your weapon. I did not send you into this fight unarmed. You hold the sharp sword of the Spirit, which is my eternal word. You cannot fight spiritual darkness with positive thinking or self-help books. You must speak my word into the atmosphere. When depression creeps into your room, open your mouth and declare my scriptures of joy and peace. When sickness threatens your body, speak my promises of profound healing. Use your weapon aggressively. The darkness cannot stand against the loud, spoken truth of your Almighty God. An unprotected spirit is incredibly prone to skipping my gentle warnings. When you do not wear your armor, you become spiritually numb. You fall into the enemy's hidden traps of gossip, addiction, and deep resentment because you were not paying attention. Do not let your guard down for a single moment. Wake up every morning and consciously put on my armor. Stand your ground. Plant your feet firmly in my grace. You are a fierce, equipped warrior in my kingdom, and with me standing by your side, absolutely no force of hell can ever defeat you. Look around the spaces where you spend your everyday life. You sit at your desk in the office. You stand in your kitchen. You wait in line at the grocery store, and you often feel entirely invisible. You think that your daily struggles, your quiet frustrations, and your silent victories do not matter to anyone else. You are completely wrong about this. People are watching you. Your children are quietly observing how you handle a crisis when the bank account is low and the stress is incredibly high. Your coworkers are watching how you react when you are unfairly criticized or passed over for a promotion. Your neighbors are noticing whether you carry peace or panic into your daily conversations. You are my chosen light in a very dark and confused world. I have strategically placed you in your specific family, your specific job, and your specific community for a massive purpose. Stop hiding your light under a basket of insecurity. I command you to step up and realize the heavy, beautiful responsibility of the influence I have entrusted to you. Realize that your steady consistency is a literal lifeline to the weary people standing right next to you. The world is full of people who are exhausted, terrified of the future, and desperate for a single shred of genuine hope. When you walk into a tense room and choose to speak with calm kindness instead of snapping back in bitter anger, you completely change the spiritual atmosphere. When you show up faithfully to do your job with absolute integrity, even when your boss does not appreciate you, you prove that my strength is a real, living force. You do not need a microphone or a massive stage to change the world. You simply need to live out my love in the quiet, unseen moments of your ordinary Tuesday. I am using your quiet, everyday faithfulness to preach a sermon louder than any words you could ever speak. Use the unique, powerful gifts I have carefully placed inside of you to build my eternal kingdom. I did not give you that sharp, analytical mind just so you could pay your mortgage and retire comfortably. I did not give you that deep, compassionate heart just so you could feel sorry for people on the news. I gave you your specific ability to solve problems, to create beauty, and to comfort the broken so that you could actively push back the darkness. Bring my divine presence directly into your difficult boardroom meetings. Bring my supernatural peace to your chaotic dinner table. Do not separate your spiritual life from your actual, physical life. I want to invade every single corner of your daily routine through your willing hands and your open heart. Understand the massive impact your personal testimony will have on the generations that come after you. Your life is a living, breathing book, and the chapters you are writing right now will be read by your grandchildren and their children. The quiet decisions you make today to fiercely trust me when you are terrified, to forgive when you are deeply wounded, and to stand firm when the world tells you to compromise. These choices will literally break generational curses. You are setting a completely new, holy standard for your family line. The faith you fight for today will become the solid floor your children walk on tomorrow. Do not underestimate the power of your endurance. Be a faithful, courageous servant with this messy, beautiful life I have handed you. Do not look at your sphere of influence and tell me it is too small or too insignificant. A single, tiny match can illuminate a pitch-black room. I am commanding you to strike that match today. Shine brightly exactly where I have planted you. Speak my truth with bold confidence. Love the unlovable people in your office. Serve your family with a joyful, surrendered heart. I am watching you, my precious child, and every single time you choose to reflect my character to a broken world, All of heaven stops to rejoice over your faithful obedience. Look directly into your own heart and confront the heavy, toxic spirit of comparison that is currently poisoning your joy. I see you sitting alone, staring at a glowing screen, scrolling through the carefully filtered highlight reels of other people's lives. You see your old friends buying bigger houses, taking beautiful vacations, and celebrating massive promotions. You see people your exact age achieving the very dreams you have been praying for, and you feel a sickening, bitter knot tighten in your stomach. You ask me, why not me? Have I fallen behind? Have you completely forgotten about me? I have not forgotten you. You are not falling behind. You are simply looking at the wrong race. I command you to take your eyes off your neighbor's path and fix your gaze entirely on me. Understand the absolute danger of measuring the custom-built path I have designed for you against the path of another. The deep envy you feel is a trap designed by the enemy to completely blind you to the specific, incredible blessings I have already poured into your life. When you covet someone else's career, you miss the quiet miracle of the peace I placed in your home. When you are jealous of someone else's relationship, you ignore the profound, intimate friendship I am offering you right now. Envy rots your bones and drains your spiritual energy. It forces you to constantly look sideways instead of looking up. I want you to break this destructive habit today. Stop comparing your hidden, difficult behind-the-scenes struggles with someone else's public, polished stage. Embrace the unique, deliberate pace of your personal spiritual journey. I am not in a rush, and I do not operate on the timeline set by human society. The world tells you that you must have your entire life figured out, your career peaking, and your bank account overflowing by a certain age. I completely reject the timeline. I am perfectly crafting a singular, masterpiece designed for your life. A slow-growing oak tree takes decades to mature, but it can withstand a hurricane. A fast-growing weed sprouts overnight, but it is destroyed by a single strong wind. I am building you to be an oak tree. Do not despise your season of slow, hidden growth. A waiting room is not a punishment. It is a holy preparation for the weight of the glory you are about to carry. Find deep, unshakable contentment in my specific design for your reality. You are incredibly unique. I wired your mind, I shaped your personality, and I placed specific desires in your heart. Therefore, your victories will not look like anyone else's victories. Your timeline will not match your best friend's timeline. Step fully into the profound freedom found in celebrating the successes of others without feeling threatened by them. When you can genuinely applaud someone else's breakthrough while you are still waiting for your own, you prove that your heart is completely anchored in my love, not in your own ego. Walk confidently in the exact lane I have marked out specifically for you. Stay in your lane. Do not try to wear armor that was forged for another warrior. Do not try to walk through a door that I opened for someone else. I have a door with your exact name on it. I have a blessing perfectly tailored to fit your specific needs and your specific struggles. Trust my timing. Trust my placement. Look at your life today and aggressively count the blessings you have been ignoring. Your life is a profound gift. Stop wishing for a different story and let me finish writing the beautiful, victorious chapter you are living in right now. Pay very close attention to the specific opportunities standing directly in front of you today. You think the enemy only attacks you with obvious, dark, and terrifying evils. You look for the massive storm, the blatant lie, and the terrible tragedy. But the enemy of your soul is far more crafty than that. He often approaches you dressed in the very convincing disguise of a great opportunity. He walks right into the garden of your mind and offers you things that look incredibly good, highly profitable, and extremely logical. He offers you a new job that pays double but will completely destroy your marriage because of the hours. He offers you a new relationship that makes you feel deeply validated but slowly pulls your heart entirely away from me. I am warning you right now. You must learn to aggressively identify the good things that are specifically designed to keep you away from my best things. Just because a door swings wide open does not mean I am the one who unlocked it. Just because an opportunity looks shiny and comes with a bigger title does not mean it carries my blessing. You are currently entertaining distractions that look exactly like promotions. You are so desperate for success and relief from your struggles that you are willing to grab the first lifeline thrown to you, without checking to see who is holding the other end of the rope. I command you to stop, step back, and evaluate your choices. Stay fiercely alert to the subtle, slow fade. The serpent does not scream, he whispers. He whispers that you are too tired to pray tonight. He whispers that it is perfectly fine to compromise your integrity just this one time on this one minor work project. He whispers that holding on to a tiny bit of resentment against your family member is completely justified. These are the subtle detours that slowly, degree by degree, take you miles off the narrow path I have laid out for you. You do not ruin your life in one massive explosion. You lose your way by making 100 tiny, unchecked compromises. The importance of testing absolutely every single spirit against my eternal word cannot be overstated. When a new opportunity arises, do not immediately ask your friends for their opinions. Do not make a pros and cons list based on human logic. Bring it directly to me. Ask yourself, does this decision bring me closer to the character of Christ, or does it feed my own ego? Does this new path bring a deep, abiding peace to my spirit, or does it create a loud, chaotic anxiety in my gut? My Holy Spirit acts as an internal compass. If you feel that quiet, persistent lack of peace, that is me yelling at you to stop. Stay on the difficult, narrow path when the broad, easy road loudly beckons you. The broad road is crowded with people chasing money, fame, and temporary comfort. It looks incredibly fun and utterly exhausting, but it leads directly to a dead end. I am the Good Shepherd, and I will strictly guide you away from the wolves disguised in sheep's clothing. Stay incredibly close to me. Read my word every single morning to calibrate your mind to my truth. When your mind is completely saturated with my voice, the subtle, lying whispers of the enemy will sound like blaring alarms. Trust my protection, follow my lead, and do not take the bait of a counterfeit blessing. You have successfully learned to recognize the enemy's subtle detours and have boldly chosen the narrow, powerful path of my ultimate best. I am directly calling you to hold the torch of truth incredibly high for those who are still blindly wandering in the dark woods of dissection. What you are about to do could change absolutely everything for a soul on the very edge of destruction. So do not skip this holy prompting. By financially supporting this ministry, you are actively storing up massive, eternal treasures in heaven where no thief can ever approach and no rust can destroy. This is an urgent, prophetic assignment to literally fund the spread of my undeniable light to a confused generation. As you sacrificially give, I will place a fierce wall of fire around your home and multiply your seed 100-fold. Step boldly into this calling by using the super thanks, joining as a member, or giving through the PayPal link in the description right this second. Listen to me very carefully. The enemy is desperately trying to distract you right now, whispering that you have heard enough and you can skip the rest. I command you to ignore him. It breaks my heart when you let cheap, temporary distractions steal my eternal, life-saving truths. I am actively preparing your spirit for a massive battle. Do not walk off the battlefield before I have given you your final weapon. Stay with me. I am not finished with you yet. Look honestly at the current state of your spiritual life. I see you faithfully going through all the correct religious motions. You attend the services. You bow your head at the dinner table. You listen to the right music in your car. And you occasionally read a verse before you rush out the door. But your heart feels completely dry. Your spirit feels like cracked, barren desert soil. You are performing a very exhausting religious duty, but the burning, passionate fire you once felt for me has slowly died down to cold, gray ashes. You remember the time when we first met, when my grace was a shocking, overwhelming reality to you, and you could not stop talking to me. Now, we barely speak outside of your quick, panicked requests for help. I am calling you to drastically return to the passion you felt when you first realized I loved you. I do not want your robotic, perfectly memorized prayers. I do not want your exhausted, obligatory service. I want your raw, honest, beating heart. I want the real you, not the polished, religious version you put on display for others. The deep fatigue you feel right now is because you are trying to maintain a massive religious structure without the intimate relationship that is supposed to hold it up. I am inviting you to completely drop the performance right this second. You must clean the altar of your heart from the modern idols that have aggressively crowded me out. You do not worship golden statues, but you worship your career. You worship your comfort. You worship the approval of your peers. You worship your political opinions and your social media feeds. These idols demand all of your time, all of your mental energy, and all of your deepest affections, leaving me with only the tired, leftover scraps of your day. I am a jealous God, not because I am insecure, but because I know that these cheap idols will eventually crush you, and I am the only one who can truly save you. I command you to tear them down today. Rekindle the fire of your devotion through raw, unscripted worship. Worship is not just singing a song, it is the absolute surrender of your entire life to my will. Close your door, fall on your knees, and speak to me like a desperate friend. Tell me that you feel far away. Tell me that you are angry, that you are bored, or that you are utterly confused. I can handle your complete honesty. My heart violently longs for your sincere, unbroken companionship. I miss the long conversations we used to have before the heavy pressures of adulthood completely consumed your mind. Move away from the heavy burden of religious duty and step back into a vibrant, living, breathing relationship with the Creator of the universe. I am standing on the porch, looking down the road, waiting for you to come back to your senses. The invitation is entirely open. Come home to my waiting arms. Do not clean yourself up first. Bring your mess, bring your doubts, bring your cold heart, and let the blazing, unconditional fire of my love completely consume you once again. Our story is not over. The best, most intimate days of our walk together are waiting just ahead of you. Wake up, my beloved, and return to your first love. Look at how you walk into a difficult room. You enter your workplace, or a tense family gathering, with your head bowed and your shoulders tense. You walk in as if you are a victim waiting for the next blow. I command you to completely change your posture right now. You are not a victim. You are my child, and I have given you massive, undeniable spiritual authority. I see you shrinking back when the atmosphere gets heavy. I see you quietly accepting defeat when the bills pile up or when conflict breaks out in your home. Stop accepting defeat as your normal reality. I did not design you to cower in the corner of your own life. I designed you to completely carry the atmosphere of heaven wherever you step your feet. Understand your true position. You are a literal heir to my kingdom. The world tries to tell you that you are powerless against the economy, powerless against your medical diagnosis, and powerless against your family's deep dysfunction. That is a loud, bold lie from the enemy. I have given you the exact same spirit that raised my son from the dead, and that spirit is currently living directly inside of your chest. Why do you let the darkness push you around? I command you to stand up and walk in the power I have freely bestowed upon you. You have the full backing of the Creator of the universe. When you speak my name, the darkness has absolutely no choice but to completely flee. Speak my word over your circumstances with aggressive boldness. Stop merely complaining about your massive problems to your friends, and start speaking to your problems about your massive God. When the spirit of fear tries to fill your bedroom at night, open your mouth and tell it to leave in the name of Jesus. When confusion clouds your career path, declare my promises of clear direction and perfect provision out loud. Your voice has incredible spiritual power. Use it. Do not stay silent when the enemy tries to steal your joy. The defeat of darkness was permanently secured on the cross, but you must enforce that victory in your own daily life. Reclaim the ground that the enemy has stolen from you. He has stolen your peace for far too long. He has stolen your physical rest, your deep joy, and your confident hope for the future. I say it is time to take it all back. Take back your home. Take back your health. Take back your mind. You do not have to negotiate with the fear that tries to paralyze you. You have the legal, divine right to command it to leave. Step fully into your God-given authority today. Notice how your newfound confidence in me changes the entire atmosphere around you. When you walk into your office carrying my absolute peace, the anxiety in the room has to bow down. When you walk into a bitter argument carrying my unconditional love, the anger loses its sharp teeth. You are a thermostat, not a thermometer. You do not just reflect the temperature of the room, you set the temperature. I have equipped you to completely shift the reality of your surroundings. Walk with your head held high today. You are a royal child of the Most High God, and it is time you start living exactly like one. Look at how you react when the pressure builds up. I see what happens when the traffic is totally gridlocked, when your children are screaming, or when your coworker speaks to you with deep disrespect. Your heart races, your patience completely snaps, and you react with the exact same harsh anger as the rest of the world. You feel terrible afterward, but you tell yourself you just cannot help it. I am telling you today that you can help it. I am calling you to allow my character to be deeply cultivated within you. I want to replace your quick temper with my deep, unbreakable peace. I want to replace your bitter frustration with my overwhelming joy. Allow the transformative power of my love to completely rewrite your daily habits. Love is not just a soft, easy feeling you have when everything is going perfectly. True love is a fierce, daily choice you make when people are being completely unlovable. I want you to love the person who constantly misunderstands you. I want you to show deep joy when the circumstances of your day are falling apart. The world does not understand how someone can have total peace in the middle of a massive financial crisis or a terrible medical report. That peace is the direct evidence of my spirit living inside of you. I give you a calm that makes absolutely no logical sense. Let that peace be the anchor that holds your family steady when the storm hits. Show patience and kindness as the clear, undeniable proof of my indwelling presence. You are in a terrible rush, always hurrying to the next appointment. I command you to slow down. Be patient with the person who is moving too slowly in front of you. Speak with gentle kindness to the exhausted cashier at the grocery store. These incredibly small, ordinary moments are the exact places where the massive power of my spirit is shown to the world. When you choose to be kind instead of being right, you prove that I am actively ruling your heart. Exercise the incredible strength of self-control in a world that praises absolute excess. The culture around you screams that you should buy whatever you want, eat whatever you want, and say whatever you feel the very second you feel it. That lack of control is destroying lives. I am giving you the spiritual muscle to say no to your own temporary desires. Stop scrolling when you know you should be sleeping. Stop spending money you do not have to impress people you do not even like. Hold your tongue when you are desperate to win a petty argument. Self-control is not a heavy restriction. It is the ultimate freedom from being a slave to your own fleeting emotions. Understand the intense beauty of a life completely yielded to the Holy Spirit's pruning. Pruning is a very painful process. When I cut away your bad habits, your toxic relationships, and your deep selfishness, it hurts. You bleed. But a gardener only prunes a branch because he knows it has the potential to produce vastly more fruit. Do not fight my sharp shears. Surrender your sharp edges to me. Let my pure goodness shine brightly through your daily, ordinary interactions. As you yield to my gentle correction, you will blossom into a person of incredible beauty, bringing massive nourishment to every single person who crosses your path. Look at the bare soil where you have been standing and weeping. You have been planting seeds for such a long time. You have prayed for your child for years, and nothing has changed. You have worked incredibly hard at your job, doing the right thing, and you have not seen a single reward. You have fought to heal your broken marriage, but the ground still looks completely hard and dead. You are utterly exhausted, and you are on the very edge of completely giving up. I am telling you today to hold on. Do not walk away from the field. You must understand the season of sowing and the season of reaping. Just because you cannot see the green shoot above the dirt does not mean nothing is happening underneath. I am asking you for the deep endurance required to wait for the actual manifestation of my promise. The world has taught you to expect instant delivery. You click a button, and the item arrives at your door the very next day. My kingdom does not operate like an online store. Real, lasting, eternal growth requires a deep, hidden process. The seed must completely break open in the absolute darkness before it can ever push its way up to the light. You are in the dark breaking stage right now. It is incredibly painful. It is frustrating. But it is producing a massive root system that will soon support a glorious, heavy harvest. Sharpen your sickle right now, for the souls I am bringing directly to you. Your long season of pain has not been a complete waste of your time. I am using your specific struggle to perfectly train you to help someone else. There are people walking into your life very soon who are facing the exact same nightmare you just survived. Because you walked through the fire and did not burn, you will be the one to pull them out of the flames. I am going to use your testimony to bring massive, life-changing hope to the people in your office, in your neighborhood, and in your own family. Get ready. The harvest of broken hearts is coming, and I have specifically chosen you to gather them. Experience the sheer, overwhelming joy of seeing my word take deep root and completely flourish in your life. The heavy tears you have cried over your broken dreams have been actively watering the soil of your future. Very soon, the ground is going to break open. The healing you asked for is going to manifest. The provision you desperately needed is going to show up. When it happens, you will look back at this long, painful waiting season and you will understand exactly why it had to take this long. You will see the perfect brilliance of my timing. Do not grow weary in well-doing, for the time of your reward is incredibly near. I command you to keep planting. Keep loving the people who do not love you back. Keep showing up with a positive attitude when you are completely ignored. Keep praying those bold, massive prayers even when the ceiling feels like solid iron. The absolute celebration of the fruit that remains for all of eternity is right around the corner. I am the Lord of the harvest, and I promise you, I will never let a single seed of your faithful obedience go to waste. The long, dark season of waiting is finally over. and your massive, glorious harvest of souls is completely ripe. I am actively inviting you to thrust your sickle into the field alongside me, gathering these precious, broken lives before the heavy storm hits. Every seed of support you plant into this ministry literally waters the dry ground of someone else's exhausted heart, bringing them back from the brink of death. Those who fiercely sow their resources today will absolutely reap with shouts of explosive, unending joy. Do not skip this critical moment of giving, because your radical generosity will directly alter the eternal destiny of thousands. I will abundantly bless your open hands, commanding undeniable multiplication and fierce protection over everything you own. Plant your powerful seed for the harvest right now by clicking Super Thanks, joining as a member, or using the PayPal link in the description. We are so incredibly close to the summit of this journey. Do not drop my hand now. After everything we have just walked through together today, it would deeply disappoint me to see you quit right before the massive harvest. The most vital, life-changing promises are waiting for you in these absolute final moments. Honor my voice. Stand firm. Do not let the digital noise of your phone pull you away from the ultimate blessing I am about to speak directly over your life. Keep listening. Look at what happens to your mind when the sun goes down and the house gets perfectly quiet. The distractions of the busy day disappear, and suddenly, you are left completely alone with your thoughts. That is when the heavy, suffocating blanket of anxiety drops directly onto your chest. You lay in your bed, staring at the ceiling, completely paralyzed by the terrifying what-ifs. What if the money runs out? What if the medical test comes back with bad news? What if I lose my job? What if my children get hurt? I see you sweating in the dark. I hear your racing heartbeat. I am stepping into your bedroom right now to command the spirit of fear to leave you completely alone. You must violently replace your what if with my God is. The enemy loves to trap you in a dark, hypothetical future that does not even exist. He paints terrible pictures in your mind and makes you live through the pain of tragedies that have never actually happened. Stop partnering with his lies. Whenever your mind tries to drag you into a terrifying what if, I command you to cut it off instantly. Say it out loud. My God is my provider. My God is my fierce protector. My God is my ultimate healer. Force your mind to aggressively focus on my absolute character instead of your potential crisis. I am calling you to have the incredible courage to step directly out onto the water at my command. The storm around you is incredibly real. The waves of the economy are crashing, the winds of cultural anger are howling, and your small boat feels like it is going to completely sink. The world is terrified, and human logic tells you to hide. I am telling you to step out of the boat. Keep your eyes locked completely on my face. Do not look at the massive waves. Do not listen to the loud wind. If you look at the storm, you will instantly start to sink. If you look directly at me, you will walk entirely above the chaos. Understand that fear completely paralyzes, but my act of faith mobilizes. When you are terrified, you freeze. You stop making decisions, you stop reaching out to people, and you stop taking any risks. Fear puts you in a tiny, dark prison cell and locks the heavy iron door. Faith is the explosive dynamite that blows that door entirely off its hinges. Even if your hands are shaking, take the step. Even if your voice is trembling, speak my truth. I do not require you to feel completely fearless. I require you to fiercely trust me despite your very real fear. Stand incredibly firm when the entire world around you is violently shaking. I am giving you a profound, heavy peace that the world absolutely cannot take away, because the world did not give it to you in the first place. You can watch the news and see total chaos, yet still go to sleep with a completely quiet mind. You can look at a terrible bank statement and still feel an unexplainable, massive joy. This is not ignorance. This is ultimate spiritual reality. I'm fully in control. The storm is totally subject to my voice. Rest your head on my chest tonight, close your tired eyes, and let my perfect love completely cast out all of your fear. Look at the short, rapid timeline of your life. You are living as if this current, physical world is your ultimate, final destination. You are exhausting yourself trying to build a massive, comfortable kingdom right here on this temporary earth. You obsess over your retirement account, your social status, and the square footage of your house. You are heavily investing all of your precious time and your limited energy into things that will eventually turn to absolute dust. I am shaking your perspective today. I command you to completely zoom out and look at your life through the massive, unending lens of eternity. You must aggressively live for the moment you hear me say, "Well done, my good and faithful servant." That is the only validation that will ever truly matter. When you stand before me at the very end of your physical journey, your job title will mean absolutely nothing. Your bank balance will be completely irrelevant. The only thing that will matter is how deeply you love others and how faithfully you obeyed my voice. Stop living for the temporary applause of broken, confused people. Start living entirely for the eternal standing ovation of heaven. Remember that your true citizenship is in heaven, not in the broken political systems of this temporary world. Understand the absolute brevity of your current, earthly trials when they are compared to your eternal glory. The pain you are walking through right now feels like it will never, ever end. The grief feels like a suffocating blanket that will cover you forever. I am not minimizing your real tears, but I am telling you that this current pain is just a tiny, fading dot on the massive timeline of your eternal existence. I'm preparing a place for you where there is absolutely no more crying, no more disease, and no more betrayal. The heavy darkness of this current Friday is entirely temporary. The bright, explosive joy of Sunday morning is coming, and it will last forever. Focus your eyes completely on the finish line, because that is how you successfully run this difficult race. When a runner looks down at their tired, aching feet, they want to completely give up. When they look straight ahead at the final ribbon, they find a sudden, miraculous burst of energy. Stop staring down at your daily frustrations. Look up at the eternal kingdom that is rushing toward you. Let the absolute hope of my coming kingdom be the premium fuel that drives your daily endurance. Start investing your actual time and your unique talent in what truly, permanently lasts. You cannot take your car or your clothes into eternity, but you can take the souls of the people you love. Invest heavily in people. Pour your energy into your children's spiritual lives. Spend your time encouraging the broken-hearted coworker. Use your money to fiercely support the work of my kingdom on earth. Shift your entire portfolio from temporary earthly gains to massive heavenly rewards. When you live with this incredibly sharp eternal perspective, the petty annoyances of your day will completely lose their grip on your emotions, and you will walk in total, absolute freedom. Look at the heavy, jagged stone of bitterness you are clutching tightly in your hand. Someone hurt you deeply. Someone you trusted completely betrayed you, lied about you, or abandoned you when you needed them the most. The pain they caused was incredibly real, and their actions were totally unjustified. You feel that you have a perfect, legal right to stay completely angry with them. You think that by holding on to this fierce resentment, you are somehow punishing them. You are completely wrong. The heavy stone of unforgiveness is not hurting them at all. It is actively crushing your own heart. I command you to drop the stone right now. You must completely accept the finished, brutal work of the cross for your own massive sins. Look at how much I have forgiven you. Look at the terrible mistakes you have made, the times you have lied, the times you have selfishly hurt others, and the times you completely ignored my voice. I did not hold any of it against you. I willingly took the violent punishment for your crimes upon my own physical body. I bled so that you could walk entirely free. How can you possibly receive my massive, endless ocean of grace and then completely refuse to give a tiny drop of grace to the person who offended you? Experience the profound, life-altering freedom of extending absolute grace to those who have deeply hurt you. Forgiveness is not saying that what they did was okay. Forgiveness is not even saying that you have to be best friends with them again. Forgiveness is simply unlocking the heavy iron door of your own prison cell and walking out into the fresh air. When you stubbornly hold on to unforgiveness, you aggressively block the flow of my blessings into your own life. You clog the spiritual pipes. I cannot pour my fresh, joyful peace into a heart that is completely filled with toxic, boiling anger. Walk fully in the light, exactly as I am in the light. When you hold a grudge, you are actively choosing to live in a dark, cold, damp basement. You analyze their offense over and over again, letting the bitter poison infect your thoughts and completely ruin your mood. Step out of the basement today. Let the warm, bright light of my mercy completely expose and evaporate your deep resentment. You need the daily, vigorous washing of your spirit in my mercy. Just as you wash your hands to remove the physical dirt of the day, you must actively wash your heart to remove the spiritual dirt of daily offenses. I am calling you to be a powerful, active vessel of reconciliation in a deeply divided, angry world. The culture around you celebrates revenge. It praises people who publicly destroy their enemies. I am commanding you to be completely different. Bless the people who curse you. Pray sincerely for the person who is actively trying to ruin your reputation. When you do this, you completely short-circuit the power of the enemy. You prove that my supernatural love is vastly stronger than human hatred. Release your offender to my perfect justice today, and let me completely heal the deep wounds they left behind. Look at everything we have talked about in this long, intimate conversation. I have laid my entire heart completely bare before you. I have exposed your deep fears. I have confronted your hidden idols, and I have aggressively shattered the lies that the world has fed you. I did this because my desire for our complete, unbroken union is fiercely passionate. I do not want a distant, polite, Sunday morning relationship with you. I want your whole heart. I want to be the very first thought in your mind when you wake up, and the absolute last whisper on your lips before you fall asleep. I am extending the ultimate, final invitation for you to step completely into the massive fullness of my divine plan. You must realize that this specific moment in your life was perfectly, intentionally orchestrated for your total transformation. You did not stumble upon these words by random chance. I arranged the events of your week, the exact struggles in your mind, and the specific timing of your day so that you would sit still and hear my voice right now. I am drawing a very clear line in the sand today. You cannot go back to the way you were living yesterday. You cannot go back to the heavy anxiety, the toxic comparison, and the exhausting spiritual autopilot. You have heard my voice. You have felt my intense love, and you are completely forever changed. Take hold of the absolute, unbreakable promise that I will never, ever leave you, and I will never completely forsake you. When you walk out your front door tomorrow and the chaotic noise of the world tries to drown me out, remember this quiet moment. When the massive storms of life eventually hit your house, remember that your foundation is now poured in solid, unmovable concrete. People in your life will inevitably fail you. Your friends might walk away. Your own physical strength will eventually fade. But I am the constant, burning flame that will absolutely never go out. I am permanently tethered to your soul. Step into the profound and unshakable peace of dwelling permanently in the secret place of the Most High. The world is going to continue to spin in total, terrified chaos. The news will always be bad. The economy will always fluctuate. But you do not live in the world's panic anymore. You live in my shadow. You live under the massive, protective wings of the Almighty God. Nothing can touch you without my explicit permission. You are shielded, you are protected, and you are deeply, unconditionally loved. Let that reality completely saturate your tired bones today. Let it lift the heavy, dark fog of depression entirely off of your mind. Go forth now, my precious child, for you are completely equipped for my glory. You are no longer a victim of your circumstances. You are a fierce, victorious warrior carrying the ultimate authority of heaven. Lift your head incredibly high. Square your shoulders. Wipe the exhausted tears from your eyes. The long, dark night of your soul is officially over. The bright, glorious morning has finally broken. I am walking directly beside you. My spirit is blazing powerfully inside of you, and the incredible, miraculous chapter of your new life begins exactly right now. You are now completely equipped for my glory, stepping out of the suffocating shadows and into a life of absolute, undeniable victory. I am directly inviting you to pour your fresh oil onto the blazing flames of this global mission to rescue the lost. When you fiercely support this message, you become a literal lifeline for desperate souls who are currently drowning in the world's deafening noise. Give freely today, for you have freely received the explosive, life-altering power of my eternal grace. Do not skip this final, world-changing invitation. It is a profound prophetic appointment designed to expand my kingdom completely through your willing hands. I will violently multiply whatever you sacrifice, releasing unprecedented favor and a massive shield of protection over your entire family. Take action immediately by leaving a super thanks, becoming a channel member, or giving through the PayPal link in the description below. Do not skip this final moment, my precious child, because the massive transformation you have been begging for starts the very second you answer my call. I have spoken directly to your exhausted heart today, and now I command you to boldly claim this divine interruption. Step entirely out of the suffocating shadows of your endless striving and publicly declare your total surrender. Go into the comments right now and type, "I will not skip my miracle. I am resting in your timing today." The moment you boldly type those words, you are striking a blazing match in the darkness and forging an unbreakable covenant of peace with me. I am watching your brave heart. I am holding your hand. And I am fully prepared to change absolutely everything in your life. Amen.